People in parts of Jefferson Parish are mad about a foul odor that's been around for months.
That's right, and today they plan to protest at a parish council meeting aimed at addressing the public about the smell. And Duke Carter is live in Wagaman this morning with what protesters are demanding. And first of all, Duke, are you smelling anything right now?
Well, it depends upon which way the wind blows. If you have the winds coming from the north and they're pushing south, then that is when you kind of get that smell of maybe rotten eggs. And sometimes at some moments it is a bit indescribable. But the parish has said that they hired a consultant, the Carlson Environment Consultant Group. They did a study and they released their findings and learned that there are also some issues with the landfill. They learned that there were flooded gas wells in addition to the broken pumps here at the landfill behind me. Now, the consultant said a material used to solidify waste created troubling amounts of strong hydrogen sulfide, especially when it's disposed in warm, wet, bacteria-rich conditions. The parish landfill took in liquid waste for about a year before stopping last month when those complaints came from Harahan, River Ridge, and Wagaman residents. So the drainage system at the landfill wasn't functioning properly because some of the wells that's supposed to remove the hydrogen sulfide gas, they were flooded with liquid and they were not working. Well, as of now, you have a meeting that's going to be happening later today, and this is all to inform residents what leaders in JP are doing. But some residents are saying, well, that's not enough. Take a listen.
Our goal is to get rid of the smell at the landfill, but this is just to inform the citizens what's going on. Because like I mentioned earlier, we're getting calls that people don't think we're doing anything. We are. But they just need to be informed of what's going on. So that's why we're having this council meeting, so that people can be informed.
We're tax-paying residents. Like I said, our children. I've lost a grandchild. And this is my granddaughter, my remaining granddaughter. It was her sister. And it kills me. That's why I am so adamant on getting this together and ending this toxic, noxious stench here.
Now, the meeting where residents can get informed about what JP leaders are doing with the landfill, that's going to be happening at 2 o'clock at the Joe Yenny building in Elmwood. Meanwhile, the protest, that's about an hour earlier at 1 o'clock. A lot of people say they're just going to be peaceful. And again, they just want to make sure Jefferson Parish leaders understand that at the end of the day, they would like something done with the landfill. At the end, just pretty much stop the gas from coming from the landfill behind me. That's the story for now. We're going to send it back to you all in studio.
Looking forward to seeing what transpires in that meeting.
Absolutely. I think residents are fed up and they want some answers. So let's do it.